Hello. Well, this is my second video getting on and just sharing from my heart. Is where I'm at. I'm hoping everybody can hear me. I want to thank you for joining me on my last video when I talked about the new writing course that I'm involved in, and that has really had a significant impact in my life in getting back to where I need to be in this life. But last week we did a writing on love and loss. And when I shared with you on my last video about how I struggled with religion, I struggled with my relationship with Jesus and a lot of different things and my faith and everything, there's significant reasons why I did suffer with all of that. And so today I'm going to go a little deeper in why I abandoned my faith, why I abandoned my God as I knew him, and Jesus as I understood him at the time, according to religious structures. All of that, I'm going to go in deeper because the writing, like I said, that we just did this past session last week was on love and loss. And we were supposed to share with our story something that changed us. And so I'm going to share with you a trilogy about how my life actually really changed through love and loss in many respects. And I'm just going to start reading what I wrote. Mom, I can't move, my son Taylor said as he was sitting in the passenger side. His deep, crater-sized dimples in his cheek growing deeper. Taylor, we're going to be late. In his high-pitched, sometimes girlish-sounding chuckle, he said, I know, Mom, but my ass cheeks are still puckered to the car seat and won't let go. I had just drove us to one of Brooke's tournaments, and he had new shoes for her that he was bringing. And we took the back roads in North Dakota, which many of you know, there are a lot of railroad tracks. And that was just his humor. It was just his humor. My ass cheeks are puckered to the seat, and they won't let go. Going notches beyond the speed limit, regardless, so we would make it in time. But this was Taylor's sense of humor. And this was the first thought that came to mind when our coach told us to keep it light. Don't try to be so heavy with what you're writing either. Try to remember some of the good things. And this was one of the writings, or the memories that came to mind, was Taylor. So in 2011, after a freak accident when a dog bit off my bottom lip, I was immediately stripped of my 28-year career as a keynote speaker, recording artist, and songwriter. I was to undergo 5 surgeries to reconstruct my bottom lip. Each surgery required me to go through speech therapy. Each surgery required me to learn how to talk again and make all my pronunciations of my letters. In 2013, only months before my last surgery where my mouth would be sutured shut to grow skin for a bottom lip. Taylor was killed in a vehicle accident. At the age of 22, I began to question life itself. Everything I was raised on, everything I believed in, everything I thought, my faith, everything, if you get saved and God's going to be there for you and da-da-da-da-da and yada, 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 and all of that stuff just went by the wayside, and very quickly, very quickly. I was catapulted and thrown into the unknown. Everything I was raised to believe or understood no longer had any meaning. I felt suspended in air while the rest of the world went on business as usual. Everybody's life seemed normal, but mine and ours didn't. Well, I was sinking in the quicksand of guilt, regret, what ifs, unforgiveness, and brokenness to the core emotionally time and again. Daily, I wrestled with personal, mental, and emotional demons to keep myself on this side of the dirt that my feet were standing on. Anger, abandonment, loneliness, grief, anxiety, depression, and then still living a life where oppression was very significant. It was time something had to change. I knew it meant walking into the unknown once again. My current pain, suffering would be heightened, and it was going to take courage. But most important, this time had to be different. I had to change. I had to face all these demons head on. I had to let go and step again into the unknown, more or less, and letting go, but this time at my own hands. It was here, through what seemed to be very dark doors, into my heart, a space unknown to me, where life seemed to have no answers, make sense, and everything had become null and void. I realized at that moment it was to let go or to die holding on to all these stories and experiences I had been through in my life. It took losing my son to walk out of a 27-year marriage that was a cocktail for disaster from the beginning in 2015. 2011, 2013, 2015 is when this trilogy all took place. And heavy, yeah, it is heavy. It was heavy. Taylor's death forced me to dig deep to survive the tragedy of losing him and my personal career, my marriage, and the choice to start my life over again. I had to literally let go, as I knew it, what my life was. I had to let go and let God. I stepped into the very nakedness of my soul, where the real me breathes free and resides. It has been through these doors of my heart and soul I have feared entrance my entire life, because it meant facing truths about myself and life that brought deep fear. However, it was in these spaces every aspect of me could ever be truly illuminated and find healing. But first I had to get there, and the only way was to completely let go and let God. That I was blaming for taking my career, taking my son, and so many other things. The courage to enter the darkness of my own heart, where deep hurts, angers, wounds of unforgiveness, personal judgment, and so much more dwelt, was profound and a profound spiritual awakening for me. I was not prepared for the ugliness I seen upon entrance, but among all the brokenness, I found it to be the safest and most peaceful place that I had been in a very long time. The aura around me was as if I were laying naked before myself and God, for the first time in the reality of what my life had been to up until that point. Layers of untruth began to peel away, and a warm glow, glistening, began to rise around me. It was in this very space where every life wound, my battered and bruised being, sometimes due to my own pride and ego, was able to lay safely shattered in all its grief and anguish. Before this, I had reached the point where I was unable to envision a tomorrow and wasn't sure I wanted to, but kept pushing through each day and learned to love and be gentle with myself in all my brokenness. This being gentle with myself was a very foreign concept, however. But it was through this I realized to accept temporary band-aids and give myself the right to deal with my past and present life as I am able. That there is nothing wrong with redressing a wound until faced in its fullness as the scar it deserves to be, and it represents what is no longer hidden, the evidence of a warrior spirit. To be stripped of the little I and the world of facades in order to redirect my heart and purpose was only possible through letting go and trusting the divine source within me. These 3 journeys of grief and loss, so closely intertwined, made me realize how precious life is and returned me to mine. But after 15 years, it took 15 years to get where I am today, to finally talk about all of this. 15 heavy years, but that have melted me and molded me into a person that now can sit before you in my true being, in my true nature. And it's a really good feeling. I've faced my demons. I've faced the ugliness within inside me that all these stories and these life experiences had. And the beauty of all of it is that I did the work. Was it easy? No, it wasn't. Until we are willing to face the dark shadows of our life holding us captive, healing and personal growth remains stagnant. Love endures through all things. Now, doing this YouTube, I want to, but I don't, and I struggle with it. But I've lived a lot in my time. I've lived a lot in my time. And I do have a lot of life experiences. My faith and not even a religion, it's a way of life. It's a stepping in to the energy and to the source and the light that I see it to be. And sometimes we just go off the deep end, and journeys like this will put you there. So I'm just here today to share a little bit about why people began to question different things about my life and not knowing what was really happening. So those are 3 trilogies I've been through. The loss of my bottom lip, my son in 2013, and then a marriage in 2015. But like Taylor said in that first story I shared with you, Mom, I can't move. My butt cheeks are still clenched to the seat. Those are things that remind me to let go. And he was like that. He was always trying to bring light and some joy to all of us. And so I hang on to those beautiful memories. And that was one that first came through was pretty enchanting for me to step into this writing. It was a difficult writing. I paced around like a caged animal, not wanting to do the writing, not wanting to face it. But if I've learned anything through this writing course, it is that writing really does help you heal. It helps you it helps you see yourself. It helps you move through the process of why you're so angry or why things aren't working out the way they're supposed to be working out. 15 years it's taken me to get back to where I am right now, where I feel like I can have a little fun in life again, not take it so seriously. Heart coherence, opening up my heart and my life, and to be joyful again, that it's not right or wrong to be happy and to enjoy life. So this is what I wanted to share today. Just a little bit of where I've been and why life beyond blind beliefs is so important, because we build our life around stories. And a lot of times they're stories that we need to experience and then allow to build the scar that they are now, instead of hanging on and allowing them to continue to strip us of our life and how we move through our life. Being your authentic self is probably one of the most beautiful things this has brought back to me. Is it returned me to a life where I'm not trying to be a people pleaser or everything to everybody else and nothing to myself. I know more who I am today, the self-realization, the dark nights of the soul I've had to go through to get to where I am today. It can be done. It has been done. And so that is a lot of what I just keep wanting to share with you, and I'm going to try to keep sharing with you as I build. I'm as nervous as a cat on a hot tin roof doing this, although I did keynote speaking. I did. I was a public performer for 28 years. I did all of that, and now to get back on and share is hard. It's like all new for me. And I don't know the last time I sang. I don't know the last time I really played guitar. It's been a while again. A lot of things have just gone by the wayside. And so I'm trying to step into this without being all over the place, which I have been as I've been trying to, on Facebook and trying to get my foothold on life, where I fit back into this thing called life again, as it's taken me 15 years to finally want to even really be a part of life and participate. But we can, and I am, but it sure feels really freaking crunchy right now. And I'm just going to keep showing up. And whatever that looks like, with all my quirkiness and whatever else you might see as you watch these videos, um, I'm going to step into more things that have a resonance within me. And that is my spiritual life, my spiritual walk of life, and where this whole journey brought me from the religious structure of institutionalized faith, which is nothing wrong with it. I keep saying that because I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't have made it through all of I made it through without having at least the spirituality to hold me, even though my faith had waned, even though my belief in God, my relationship with Jesus was stripped. Uh, I was angry, angry, angry. And for the first time, I'm not feeling so much anger anymore. I'm feeling a healing, and this writing course has done it. So these first two videos of Life Beyond Blind Belief, seeing it for what it really is now, the name of my channel. And sorry, I haven't. Welcome to my channel, and thank you for joining me. Those of you that have, I appreciate that. And it's just nice to get here and share from my heart and be real. Nothing like it. Nothing like it. To just be present. So as we evolve, I want to get more into that which has always been near and dear to my heart, and that is our awakening into consciousness. Because if this journey has brought me anywhere, it is to realize why Jesus truly came to earth, that we are to step into this beautiful light of consciousness and energy of the divine magnetism of who we are. And that is where I want to share. But I felt I needed to give you a little bit of backstory. I traveled for 28 years as a keynote speaker, singer-songwriter, sharing the gospel and singing gospel songs and preaching and teaching. And then to have all this happen was just like, what the, what the is like, wow, wow. Sometimes that's just what you have to do. Stop the monkey mind. Stop thinking that the words and everything are going to change. Just to step into being. Wow. And the nervousness for me tonight was sharing. The nervousness was sharing all this. And so as this video starts out, it's very, it's very, on I know you can tell I'm nervous. I haven't done this for a very long time. Thank you for joining me. And as I progress through this healing journey and move forward in this life of whatever mine is to be, I probably still will say a lot of controversial things that go outside of what I was raised on in the institutional structure of the religions. But oh my God, I cannot throw the baby out with the bathwater, because by that, it made me dig deeper. It made me look into the scriptures more and more and go back to the oldest form of scripture that could be found to start digging deep. And the freedom that has brought me alone is pretty powerful. Wow. I sit here and I look at my guitars and they've been just sitting there. Will that ever come back? I don't know. Will the music ever come back? I don't know. But I just need to be here now. I need to be in this moment now and not look at every moment ahead or behind, but to sit in the presence of what is, knowing that I can overcome it all. Is it going to be easy? You know, that first video I did, I'm like, let your light shine to the top of your head, to the tips of your toes. Let it shine, shine, shine. Let your light shine. And I mean it. I do. I mean it. But in the reality, we still have to live in this world. And living in this world means we're going to suffer. We're going to suffer. Life's going to happen on a daily basis. We're not going to get along with everybody. Not everybody's going to see us like we want them to. That's okay. I'm good with that anymore. I just want to be here now. I just want to be here. I want to be here. I want to show up for life. And however that looks each day, if it's crunchy, if it's not, if I'm crabby, if I'm not on in sync, that's okay. We're going to have those moments. But with the way the world is, there's a lot of change going on. And we just need to be there for each other. We don't need to convert somebody to any religion. We don't need to convert somebody to believe what we believe. We just need to be there for them and let them be them. And then however their light shines right now, wherever they're at in their spiritual journey or awakening, if they even are, maybe they're not. But maybe you can be that light that helps them stand strong in the chaos of their not knowing. That's what this channel is all about. Truly, truly from my heart. Living beyond blind beliefs means going inward and self-realization of who you are. How can I help you find that? How can I lead you back to that beautiful person you are? Warts and all, take it all. We are not, we're going to have those good days where we're letting it shine through the top of our head and up the bottom of our, we're going to have those days where we feel really on top of the world. And then we're going to have those days when we don't. Be gentle with yourself. Be very gentle. Take that time just to breathe. When you're hurting, when you're struggling, take, a minute and just breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Some people make a like Oh, get it out. There's no right or wrong way to connect to all that is within you. We truly are a kaleidoscope of the universe within us. We are a kaleidoscope, and all the pain and suffering that we can go through shows us what a beautiful kaleidoscope that is. Because there's all kinds of colors, and there's mirrors, and there's reflections, and it's constantly forming different shapes and different patterns. And you can let go of those patterns which no longer serve you. You can rewrite your stories. You can let go of the stories that you've hung on to of other people's. But don't let go of you. Don't let go of you. You're beautiful, inside and out. I don't care who you are. How you see yourself, the stories you tell yourself. Be gentle. Because in your brokenness, the light can really, really shine. And that was one of the beautiful things Chris Carr, New York Times bestseller, was talking about in our writing class this past week. An amazing writing class. If you ever get an opportunity to sneak into one of her writing classes, wow. I have been so blessed by the amazing women, by Chris herself, who has struggled for 30 some years, 20, 30 some years with cancer, not knowing what tomorrow's going to bring. We don't know what tomorrow will bring. So be present in your day, in who you are now. We're not always going to look so prim and proper. We're not always going to have it all together. We're not always going to want to be nicey nice. But you know what? In the midst of that, we can still make it through. Now I don't want to get off, but I really don't want to talk anymore either. I just want to just be here because it feels good. It just feels good to be here with you, to share. And maybe nobody's listening, and maybe somebody's listening, and that's not the point. Our life is about moving energy. It's about moving energy. It's about being willing to step into the unknown, even when the unknown hurts, even when the unknown is crunchy, even when we don't trust it yet. Yeah. This feels a hell of a lot better than the beginning of the video. We're supposed to just be our authentic self. I don't want to be fake. I don't want to pretend I'm perfect. I don't want to act like I'm always happy or joyful. In my heart, I can be. In my mind, I might not always be, because that monkey mind and that ticker tape of past and memories likes to try to take over and just keeps going by and by. And you look in the mirror and it's like, God dang it, there's that old story again. How do I get rid of it? There's that old pattern. I picked it back up again. How do I change that? We can. We can. And like I said in the writing, we have to be willing to do the work. Like, here's my writing. Scratched out and everything. You know, not everything's in place. And then I write myself notes that I want to change things, and just accept yourself as you are. Because until you do, it doesn't matter if anybody else ever does. Because if you're going off your self-worth being from those outside of you, you don't have a lot to hang on to because they can disappear in a heartbeat. The Bible says, work out your own salvation. And we have to. We are the only ones that can save us. We are the only ones that can save us. And you're worth the journey. You're worth the change. You're worth asking questions. You're worth moving through. You're worth it. But you have to see that worth. I finally did. Took me 15 years to get from losing my bottom lip, death of my son, and a divorce, to sit before you now and say, I'm okay. I'm okay. May you have a blessed night. Thank you so much for joining me on my channel, Life Beyond Blind Beliefs. What beliefs are you hanging on to that are keeping you stuck? What stories are you hanging on to that are keeping you stuck? What patterns are you hanging on to that is keeping you stuck? You see, all those things in our life that take place are experiences. Life is about participating in it and experiencing it so you can be it. And when I say be it, I'm talking about the divine being you're supposed to be. We are here to suffer, but that suffering leads us to the saving grace within ourselves if we're willing to say, I'm enough. And even when you do get to that point and you can say I'm enough, you're still going to have days when you're feeling like, that monkey mind, I'm not enough. Oh shit, I'm falling off the wagon or whatever. It's okay. Confront it. Oh no, not in my house today. I'm writing a new story. Talk to it, but feel it also. Feel that emotion come in. I could ramble, but I feel at peace more than I did because I was nervous about even getting on again. And I'm sure I will be for quite some time, but that's okay. That's okay. It's okay. I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to have all this together to just get on and talk and to be. And I'm so thankful right now for the many people that have been a part of helping me move forward spiritually and where I am today. May you be blessed. And as always, take what you can use and leave the rest. Have a great evening.